You'll have to forgive us, but we've spoken a lot about the tricky Blues this season. We've even spoken about songs written for the Foxes as a result of their awesome campaign in the Premier League. Well, my next guest has travelled all the way from Peterborough to perform his song, We're Living the Dream, right here on Jubilee Square ahead of tomorrow's game against West Ham at the King Power Stadium. But before that, Lee Joshua Rose has joined me in the studio. A very good afternoon to you, Lee. How are you?
Okay, well, it's good morning.
Is it still? It's not.
I'm a little bit late, but I'm not that late.
No, that's not bad, is it? Actually, I don't know where I am, mate. I don't know where I am. Yeah, I've not even had a beer yet, Lee. Yeah, you know what it's like. Lee, tell us about your song, Living the Dream.
Inspiration came sort of 3 or 4 weeks ago after a phone conversation with a pal of mine, a big Foxes fan, lorry driver Dean Culver, who's basically saying the town's buzzing, we're living the dream, it's Roar the Rovers stuff, it's beyond the wildest dreams. During this conversation, it had an impact on me. Something happened to me, put shivers down my back, and I thought, I've got to do something about this. Thank the Lord, the magic happened.
Are you a Leicester fan, Lee? Are you?
I'm really Peterborough United, I suppose, but
okay.
Any neutral who loves football would want to see the Foxes win the Premier League, wouldn't they?
I think that's an interesting point, because we were touching this on the show earlier on today, and we were saying, you know, I went on my stag do a couple of weeks ago to Barcelona. Everybody in Barcelona urging Leicester City, you know, some of the lads had Leicester shirts. Went to Bristol on Thursday, ended up talking to a bloke in a bar, Man United fan, wants Leicester to win the league. Is it the same in Peterborough? Everybody's kind of, it is the underdog, isn't it? It's never going to have been done before. If we do it, it will be just magic, won't it? And everybody's caught up in this.
Incredible. And I think the way that the football world is at the minute, the big spenders of Chelsea, obviously Man City, to be fair, I do like they're in the Champions League, but, you know, yeah, and it's just very refreshing at a team that's 7 free transfers in the starting 11. I mean, when they beat City the other week, I was on the way to a gig and I had it on the radio, and the commentator said, the City starting 11 cost 270 million. The Foxes started 11, 7 free transfers. I love it.
It is. It's incredible. It's a bunch of underdogs. You know, players, you know, like Robert Huth, Danny Drinkwater, you know, players that were rejected.
Where's Morgan rejects, weren't they?
Well, you know, it's unbelievable. You know, and they've formed this band of brothers here at Leicester. I mean, tell me what goes through. You sit down, you know, you said there's something like, you know, you thought, right, I've got to write a song about this. I've got to write Living the Dream. Do you just sit down and it's just that kind of like emotional outpour that you put down into paper?
Yeah, I suppose my creative style and way of doing things normally does come on the guitar, the piano. This one obviously came on the guitar, and it comes from basically you put a set of chords together that you think, yeah, I quite like that, and then you get a melody come in. So basically on the Tuesday when I started on it, it wasn't about Leicester. And I spoke to Dean over the phone, and it inspired me. The sort of, obviously the people hear the song, and it hopefully is very good. But basically, yeah, so it came from that, and it wasn't until the next day I thought, actually, I need to write about Leicester with this melody that I've actually created the day before. And like you say, in the space of sort of 3 or 4 days, you had an end product.
Unbelievable. You're going to be playing it here in Jubilee Square. Tell me about that. I think that's great.
Incredible, yeah. Literally, I went down there on a bit of a whim 2 weeks ago before the Southampton game. David Mace, the owner of the Burger and Grill Bar in the corner, very helpful. Basically went in there, had a black coffee and had a bite to eat, sort of soften him up a little bit, as you do. And had a recording on the phone that had been sort of just recently done at the studio and been mastered and mixed. And I said to him, what do you think to this? He said, that's very good, I like that. I said, would you mind if I apply it to the fans when they come out of the ground? He said, no problem at all, I'll try and help you all that I can. And he invited me back for tomorrow. So before and after the West Ham game tomorrow, I'll be outside the ground performing it. Loads of flyers, along with other songs from bands like Kasabian, Oasis, blah, blah, blah. But so, yeah, see what happens. Hopefully, get Mr. Birchie behind it, or Mr. Gary Lineker. We could run something big, couldn't we?
Get in. You'll be down there tomorrow. Are you going to the match as well? Or?
I've not got a ticket, but I'm happy to just watch it on telly and have a bite to eat, right? And I'm sure it'll be a tricky game tomorrow. I think West Ham have a little bit between the teeth after defeating the week to Man United. But
I must admit, I'm a little bit. I think tomorrow will be quite a challenge. I think tomorrow, I mean, I believe anyway, but if we beat West Ham tomorrow, we'll get a point against West Ham. You know, that's something. That'll be something else. You know, I really do think we'll be well on the way. If we beat West Ham, let's be honest about West Ham, they're coming out the back end, aren't they, of a bit of a tricky run. They've drawn 3 of their last Premier League matches, I think it is. They lost, like you say, in the week in the FA Cup to West Ham. I don't know, it'd be great. So what time are you going to be down the ground from, Lee?
I should get there pretty early. I should get there for sort of 10 o'clock, set up, have a sound check, and from chatting to David and different people around the ground, I think the fans will start sort of arriving 10, 11 o'clock onwards. So I'll be there sort of from 11, you know, ready to go. And when people start coming in, start performing the song, and see what happens. But now, get behind it. I think you'll like it. It's very good, if I do say so myself.
Well, I'll tell you what then, Lee. What we'll do is we'll have a listen to it now, and then you can give people the details of how they can download it, now they can get off. I'll let you introduce your own track. Here we go.
I'm Lee Joshua Rose. I'm a singer-songwriter. The album's out very soon for a management company in London. This is We Are Living the Dream.
As hard as you can, give Malice the ball. Jamie thought he will score, and it feels that we're on top of the world. It's beyond our wildest dreams. We'll have the Champions League, and we are living the dream. On the cards, a cloudy He bought the change, he instilled some faith, and a good word waits, and it feels like we're on top of the world. It's beyond our wildest dreams. We'll have the Champions League, and we are living the dream. No one overpaid, just love for the game, a desire that's off the page, free transfers and a structured wage. It's time to say we might go all the way, and it feels like we're on top of the world. It's beyond our wildest dreams. We're in the Champions League. We got the perfect Bayern Munich and Barcelona, now becoming of the king power. Ranieri, the special one, it's Roy after over stuff. Bayern Munich and Barcelona, now becoming of the king power. Ranieri, the special one, it's Roy after over stuff. Like we're on top of the world. It's beyond our wildest dreams. We'll have the Champions League. We are living the dream. I still can't believe we might just win the league.
Lee, that was absolutely brilliant. Lee Joshua Rose there. We're living the dream. That what a great. That's a proper football kind of. You can imagine arms round everyone singing along to that. That's great.
I like the way it surprised you. You weren't expecting that, was you? In the words of Jamie Lawson. What a terrible song that really is.
How can people get hold of it?
Your main ways, I'm still waiting on iTunes. I won't go into this because it's frustrating me quite a bit, but it should have been live literally about 2 weeks ago on iTunes. But there's a certain amount of songs that can take up to 16 days, and I think mine's fair in that category. But away from that, you've got Google Play, Amazon, and obviously it will be available on iTunes very soon.
And they can come down. City fans can come down to the ground tomorrow. They can see you outside the ground,
Singing it
online,
live.
Singing it live. The best of luck, Lee Joshua Rose. Thank you very
Thank you
much
very
for
much.
joining
Thanks
us
for
in the
having me.
studio today. Thank you very much indeed. Here's some Rolling Stones. Takes up to 12 o'clock.